Holy fuck. Like, that was actually insane. I really don't even know how to start a video like this. Like, I genuinely do not know how to start this. I tried hypnosis for the first time. So yes, by the title of this video, I tried hypnosis for the first time and it was wild. And I'm kind of going through this whole like spiritual awakening kind of thing happening right now. I feel like I should give a little background on the fact that like I'm a universe ass bitch. I fully believe in the universe. I believe in like intuition and karma and your gut feeling and just like all of those like hippie things. I firmly believe in that. I mean, like right next to my dresser right now is all of my crystals, my manifestation book, my manifestation candle, and this like manifestation vibration spray I have. So you could say I'm one of those bitches. Let's start at the beginning. Over the past couple weeks, I have been actually, honestly, the past couple months, I have been feeling like the best way that I can describe it is I am at the bottom of a roller coaster. I'm at the bottom of a giant hill. And I know that I'm about to go up this roller coaster or up this hill. Like, I can feel it. I just like have this intuition that I am like at the very bottom of like a huge journey or like a huge life change. Like, I just feel it. I feel like it's been affecting my like decision making and just like overall life, because I just feel really consumed by this like I don't know what step to take next sort of thing, without getting like super deep. So I have anxiety. I'm unemployed right now. The world is in a weird place. I just turned 25. Like, we've got a lot happening, okay? There's like a lot of things going on up here. I was feeling a lot of like internal blockage. I just knew that I wanted to go seek some spiritual help. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm kind of going through like a spiritual awakening where I feel like I'm really connected to the universe right now. I'm learning a lot about manifestation. I just feel like I'm in this place in my life where I'm really ready to let the universe work for me, okay? So I posted on my Instagram story and I said, does anyone know of any tarot card readers or mediums or whoever? So my sister actually reached out to me and said, I just had this hypnosis session with this woman and she does like a free sample version. I'm gonna send you her information. I totally think you should do it. And I was like, hypnosis wasn't really what I thought I was looking for, but at this point I'm kind of just game for anything. And I talked with my sister and she said the only advice I have for you is to just let whatever happen. Don't go into it thinking, you know, this is 100% gonna work. Don't go into it thinking this is completely fail. Be a huge skeptic. Don't fight it. Just kind of let whatever happen. So that is the mentality that I went into this with. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to literally let go. If I feel something and if I feel like this is working, awesome, I'll go with it. And if not, this was a free sample session and I tried it, you know, and if it didn't work, it didn't work. Hi, I also forgot to mention that I meditate, and I think that that was a big reason I had the like overall experience that I did, because I'm really used to like going into my own mind, like zoning everything else out, just like really focusing in. I've been meditating for like 2 or 3 years now, so I feel like that helped just like the overall experience. So I felt like I would really be able to like focus in on the session, and I just like I had like good vibes going into it kind of thing, okay? So the first like 10 minutes of the session are just her getting to know me. I had to fill out like a little questionnaire when I signed up, and she asked just sort of what am I looking for in life, and I pretty much just said I'm looking for some guidance in like my career, I guess. That's sort of what this whole intention was. So I kind of wanted to know what's next for me. What should I expect? And I had already started crying. I literally started crying within the first like 5 minutes of our session because I feel like I was just so nervous. This whole situation has been something that's been like heavy on my mind for a couple months. So to finally speak to someone about it, I was like, a mess. So I cried within the first like 2 minutes of our Zoom call. This poor woman is not a fucking therapist, and I was like crying talking to her. Oh my god. Then she said, are you ready? We're gonna get into the hypnosis. So I'm gonna walk you guys through like literally everything how I saw it. So the first thing she had me do was get into a comfortable position. So I had my camera here because I wanted to record the whole process, but
I had this feeling that like I would be thinking too much about my camera, like is the angle right, is it still recording? And I just felt like I just was like gonna be so focused on that. This is what you missed. I'm literally sitting on my bench and all I did was sit like this. I sat cross-legged and I just breathed in and out.
And she said we're gonna do 10 deep breaths. So this is sort of where I turned my brain off and I was like, okay, just focus, whatever happens, just let it happen, okay? So the deep breaths you take, and as you take like a really deep breath, you like roll your eyes as well. Let me try to do it. I don't know what that looked like, but she pretty much explained it like you take a really long blink, or like you just like, okay, that was not it. Like you just like use your eyes to like roll back into your head, I guess, if that makes sense. And she said we're gonna do 10 of these, and I swear to you, by 4 I like literally couldn't even keep my eyes open. And I guess you could see that, and she's like, if your eyes are closing, you know, keep your eyes closed. She had the most beautiful, peaceful voice I've like ever heard in my life. And she's like, okay, we're going to go deeper, we're taking a deep breath. And she really just walks you through the process of going into your subconscious, because the way that she explained it, and I'm sure most of you already know, is like your conscious brain is, you know, what you use all day long. It's what you see, how you talk, how you do things. Your subconscious brain is like a little further back. It's got all your like feelings and memories and deeper things like that. This is not a scientific explanation, but your subconscious is like the mushy gushy parts of you. So to access that, it's not super easy. So that's why you go into hypnosis and you sort of release control to your conscious brain and you focus in on your subconscious brain.
You literally just count down from 10. Like, it was just crazy. Like I felt like I was like literally going like deeper. I felt like I like wasn't even in my body anymore. Like I was in my body, but I couldn't feel my limbs. I like was just my brain.
I genuinely started to feel my body like hollow out. Like the best way I can describe it is I just slowly felt more like a little brain than I did a full body. Like I really felt super hollow. My body felt sort of just like there, whereas like my little spirit brain was like floating around and like having a good time. But I did slowly start to like kind of leave my body, not in like a scary way, but just my body literally started to feel like hollow. It's like the best way I can describe it. So you keep taking deep breaths, you keep just going deeper and deeper into your subconscious. She says, you know, just welcome any thoughts that come in, no matter what they are, welcome them in. Don't, you know, think, oh, I can't think about those things. Let the thoughts come in and let them leave. And the way that I pictured it was I was like sitting in a chair in like a room full of like doors, and like every thought I had was just like walking through a door and then exiting through a different one, and then like a different thought like, oh, when this phone call is done I have to make dinner, and then it would like exit, and then it would be like, I wonder what this person's doing today, and then it goes through the thing. Like whatever my thoughts were, they were just like kind of like floating, like I was watching myself think them. I swear I'm not high right now. Like I wasn't high then. This is where it gets embarrassing, because she said to imagine your happy place. She's like, imagine a really happy place. It can be somewhere you've been before, it can be somewhere you've never been, it could literally be a made-up place on a different planet. Whatever it is, picture your happy place. So the first happy place that jumped into my mind, like the very first place I thought about, this is so weird and so embarrassing to say, was James Charles's backyard. Hi sisters. I watched his house tour one time like 3 months ago, and like his backyard is so beautiful. And when I was watching his house tour, all I could think about was how like I want a house like that when I get older, where all of my friends can come over, and I want my parents to come and have family parties there. And it was just this like really like weirdly sentimental moment when I was watching his house tour, of just being like, wow, I really want that one day. Like instantly I just pictured myself in his backyard, and it's my house, and I have friends over and like whatever. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna count to 10 and we're gonna go even deeper. And I was like, oh shit, like I don't know if I can. And I just like really felt like everything she was saying was like I was a sponge, and like every single word and letter and syllable and anything that she said, I was like soaking it in. Like I was just like very like sensitive is the word that she used, because she said your subconscious is really sensitive. So once we're like super deep down, she's like asking me questions regarding kind of like what we talked about in the beginning, and she's like, every negative thought you have, picture it just like coming out of you, you like burn it or you throw it away or whatever. Like imagine burning your negative thoughts. And instantly I just switched to driving in a car. Now, after the session, I told her this next part and she literally had goosebumps. So I cannot drive with a jacket on. Like, very weird thing, but I refuse to drive with like any type of like jacket or anything. I get so hot and like bothered. I don't like wearing jackets indoors. Like as soon as I get somewhere, I take my jacket off just because like, I don't know, I just like really don't like feeling hot and like overwhelmed. So even if it's like 2 degrees outside, I will drive without one. And instantly when she's like, imagine your negative thoughts burning away, I instantly just pictured myself driving and every negative thought I had was like a jacket that I was taking off. Like that feeling when you take off a jacket and you're like, ugh, like you're so like relieved, and it's just like such like a good feeling when you have like a jacket or a sweater, or even girls when you take your bra off and you're like, oh my god, just that feeling of relief. Like that's what I felt with every negative thought that was in my mind. Like all of these like super ugly like negative thoughts I was having were just like jackets that I was taking off. It was crazy. So I'm pretty deep in it at this point. I have like literally someone could have walked into my house and robbed me and I literally would have no idea. Like I was so deep in it at this point. And then she asked the very like simple question, why can't I achieve this goal? And instantly the answer like popped up in my head.
I definitely realized some things. She like asked, why can't you achieve that goal yet? And like the answer was right there, and I've been like lying to myself about the answer. And this sounds like a little darker than it is. It's not super dark, but I've been trying to convince myself of something otherwise, and that was like the very first thing I thought of. And it was like, oh, that's why, like this is what you're struggling with.
I have just been trying to lie to myself that I'm super like not afraid and that I'm like, I can do anything. And the second she was like, why can't you achieve this goal? Like the first thing was just like a fear of failure. Like instantly within a nanosecond, it was like, you're afraid to fail. And that was like a really eye-opening experience for me, because I feel like I really tried to like pretend that I'm not afraid to fail and pretend that I'm not afraid to like put myself out there. And I guess like subconscious Casey is like, no bitch, you actually do care about failing, and that's why you're having these like internal blockage things. And she said that. She said prior to the session that sometimes like a simple question can evoke a memory in someone, which can unlock trauma or reasons that they feel this way or XYZ. So when she said that, I instantly was like, oh, this is like kind of what she's talking about. Like this is the moment that I was waiting for. She's so amazing, and she's just telling me that I'm worth it and I'm confident, and whatever I want to achieve, I can achieve. And she's slowly lightening the situation, because at this point it felt really heavy. And again, not in like a sad, depressing way, but just in like a I've been carrying a lot of weight around sort of way. And when I tell you that I genuinely could not come out of it, and not in like a scary way, but I was like the most content I've ever been, and I like literally did not want to come out of it. Like I was just chilling. Straight chilling. I was like, I don't want to come out of it, but I know I have to. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna count to 10 and you're gonna slowly, you know, come higher and we're gonna get out of it and blah blah blah. However she got me out, whatever. It took me like a hot second. She was like, okay, you can come out on your own time. And I was just like chilling. Like I was like, I don't want to come out. Like I'm vibing right now. And I was like, no, I probably should. So I like came out of it, and the best way I could describe it is like not like a groggy feeling, but like I like had to open my eyes. It was like someone had just woken me up. Like the room was a little fuzzy, and then I like instantly started tearing up, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna hurry up and hang up with you. Journal whatever comes out of your brain, because you're in a really sensitive place right now. Like your subconscious is super sensitive. So whatever is coming to your brain, think it, let it out. Like this is what's supposed to happen. So she quickly hung up, and I just started sobbing. And then this is where this clip came from.
Holy fuck. And this is what's happening as the aftermath. I just journaled. That was crazy. Like that was actually insane. And I'm crying, but it's not even necessarily like a sad cry. It's more of just like, I guess it is a little bit of a sad cry, but it's more of just like an emotional cry. Like that was crazy. That was literally insane. I'm gonna like collect my thoughts for a second and then hopefully I'll be able to like make some sense.
Okay, so some final thoughts on the whole situation. One, I definitely want to do this more and sort of like really explore my subconscious. I did read some Reddit threads of hypnosis because I was just like very curious, and almost everyone said that they cried afterwards. I asked my sister and she said the very first time she had ever done hypnosis, she cried afterwards. Your subconscious just went through such a sensitive emotional experience that your conscious body is trying to kind of catch up, and like the only response it has is to just like cry. And so I did, and I cried a lot. The craziest thing was that night, and trust me, I know that one session does not cure everything, but that night I had like a negative thought, and before I even like finished the negative thought, I was like, no, don't think that, like don't think that way. And I was like, whoa, that hasn't happened in years. Like I have been struggling so bad with like mean, ugly, negative thoughts, and like I literally had a negative thought and then like the other part of my brain was like, no, don't think that way. And I was like, oh, okay, like go off. That was cool. And it could have 100% been a placebo effect. Like I am such a sucker for that stuff. If the placebo effect works, then like at the end of the day it works, you know what I mean? So that is this week's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please actually like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are not already. I would love if you were here for this spiritual journey we're about to go on together. Thank you guys so much. Peace.